Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about signs that an avoidant has already chosen you, even if you don't know it. This is such a common theme that actually this bothers you guys a lot. Like, I've had some calls with you guys where you are simply just asking me, is this normal? And like, I love that for you because I love to give you the relief that you need. Sometimes you're like, is this really an avoidant? Is this normal? Why are why are we progressing in a relationship, but they're not labeling it? Why are we being romantic? Why are we going on dates? Why are we intimate? But they're saying that we're just friends, right? People are so confused about this. And the reality is that this is the function of how some dismissive avoidants show up, right? And it's not just dismissive avoidants, by the way, fearful avoidants do it as well. They will show up where they have these quiet signs that they've already chosen you in their mind. And at one point, they're going to choose you externally as well. But avoidants have a different process. Both fearful and dismissive, but a little more common with dismissive avoidance. They choose you internally first, way before they choose you externally. And it's a protective barrier. By choosing you internally without telling you, you can't take advantage of them. Not that you would, but that is the way they do it. So they typically choose you at a pretty normal rate, surprisingly. When I mean normal, I mean secure. Secure people, they usually know in about 6 months, maybe 3 months. Dismissive avoidance and fearful avoidance, they know that as well. They just don't tell you. That's just the difference. The internal perspective is the same. They might be more doubtful, but they do know. And so I want to share some signs that they have chosen you. And if you are curious about if your partner is avoidant, if this is happening with you, or if you just don't understand what's going on in your relationship and you need some help, you can book a call with me. That is pinned in the comments, okay? And so the first one is they give you the benefit of the doubt. This is a huge one. It's why I put it first, because if this is happening, you can just exit the video, to be completely honest. Like, if this happens, it's done. They love you. They chose you. I mean, if they're able to continue to give you that benefit of the doubt, they trust you, and it's a done deal. Like, very likely, if the relationship continues without barriers, they're not going to leave. The reason why I say that so strongly is because avoidants have trust issues. Both fearful and dismissive, male and female, they don't trust people. Okay. They do not trust people at all. They are suspicious about anything and everyone, let alone the person that they're going to give themselves to. And so the fact that they give you the benefit of the doubt means that they truly and genuinely believe that even if you make a mistake, which they could take it and run with it, they've decided to give you the benefit of the doubt. They've trusted you basically like a double layer, right? Because they don't even trust when someone says something that is very clearly trustworthy. When someone says that it could be anything. I'm doing this just because I care. They're going to not trust that, even though you just said it. But what if you said something not so nice and they still trust you and give you the benefit of the doubt? That puts even more effort. This is huge for them. And this is something that if you've noticed, maybe you said something, you didn't mean it. I know you're a bit of a loner and I want to give you alone time, and they take offense to it and they realize I'm not a loner, I'm not a bad person. Maybe that's the way they used to take it because they feel so embarrassed about who they are. You're saying loner is a bad thing. You're criticizing me. This is just the way I am. Take it or leave it. Like, a lot of times they'll jump so many different levels, right? Even though that's not what you meant. You were actually being nice. I want to give you alone time. But if they give you the benefit of the doubt, they think you didn't mean loner in a bad way. You're respecting me. You're appreciating me. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me that time. Immediately, even if you didn't say things the most elegant, the most perfect, because avoidants are very specific, they care about you because they trust you. Right? The next one is they change for the relationship without resentment. This is huge for a fearful avoidant. If a fearful avoidant is changing without resentment, that means that they respect what you're saying and they're not mad at you for expecting that of them, okay? So fearful avoidance, the reason why I bring that up the most is dismissive avoidants do not tend to resent nearly as strongly as fearful avoidance do, because dismissive avoidants, they tend to just have like really strong boundaries to the point where they might not change at all until they're really ready. But some fearful avoidants change because they're just tired of dealing with the fighting. They're just tired of dealing with the negativity. So they might change externally, but not internally. Okay. But if they actually change for the relationship, maybe you're saying, I would really like if you would be more open to hanging out more on weekends. And they actually did that and they're happy to do so. And they're doing it because they care about you. This is a huge sign, okay? The next one is they talk about the future. And when you talk about the future, they're not triggered. It can be very simple. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of call you guys out on this, no one in specific, but a lot of times I'll have calls with you guys and you'll say, I'm really worried because he or she got really distant. We have a trip together planned next month. And in my mind, and I tell you guys this, I'm thinking, okay, you have a trip together and they already said it. They said that they want to maybe, eat the dinner that you cooked, or they're excited to, see you on your birthday. These are all future things. And you're telling me, and I understand why, you're telling me I'm afraid, he or she doesn't care. They're a little distant right now. Maybe they don't love me anymore. I get it, right? You're afraid that maybe these future plans don't mean anything. You're afraid that they're going to somehow disappear, because some of them do that. But in actuality, when an avoidant tells you that they're saying something futuristic regarding you, normally it's not to please you. And it's not because it's actually almost never to please you, but it's normally because they do see a future with you. It's a genuine connection. And sometimes what happens is you guys will be so afraid of the things that are happening in the day to day without thinking about the future that they said that they would have with you, that you don't mean to, but you might sabotage what's happening now, and that pushes them away, and then that future doesn't happen. And you think that means the future they said was never real, when in actuality you were worried about them pulling away or pushing, being distant. You didn't say anything, or you said something in a more negative way. Maybe you crashed out. That's okay. People make mistakes. And then they shut down, when in actuality, if you never said anything, not never said anything, you said things in a more logical way, or the way that they communicate, that future would have always been there. And so that's something I noticed. And when I mean logical, I just mean that you brought up your feelings very truthfully while giving them the benefit of the doubt, but you also stood your ground. I've made videos on that. I don't need to go into all of that. And if you're curious about your own case, you know where to find me. But the next one is they're comfortable sharing their financial standing with you. This is more common with male avoidants, that they're afraid to do this, by the way. If they're telling you, like, maybe how much they have in their Roth, how much their house is worth, how much, they paid off on their mortgage, this is usually a sign that they trust you and they're safe with you. They feel connected to you. So the next one is that they seek your advice and they follow through with that advice. Okay, so if it is a female avoidant, this one is even more significant. Female avoidants particularly have a very deep wound regarding independence and advice. So I'll explain. Female avoidants, more particularly than any other attachment style, dismissive avoidant especially, they really don't like unsolicited advice particularly, but they don't like taking other people's advice because they're very proud, okay? And a lot of them have worked on this and gotten better on this. Like, this is something that a lot of them, they do have to heal and work on it. Unsolicited advice can trigger a lot of people. So that one might be a little separately, but most of them still struggle with that even if they're healed. However, advice from a loved one, a lot of people enjoy that. But female avoidants, more particular than male avoidants, they feel like if they do take your advice, then maybe you can control them. I'm not saying you would. And so if they love you and trust you, only then do they really feel like they can take your advice. And so these are some of the things that show that avoidant love you, they have chosen you, and they're likely going to stick around. So they give you the benefit of the doubt. They change for the relationship without resentment, even more particular for fearful avoidance. They talk about the future, and they're not triggered by it either. They're comfortable talking about their financial standing, particular for male avoidance. They seek and accept your advice, particular for female avoidance. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.